You are an obsession. I cannot sleep. I'm your possession. Unopened at your feet. There's no balance, no equality. Be still.
Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Sarah and this is Desert Experience. Even though we were approaching Christmas, I'm clearly still in the Halloween mood. And nothing screams Halloween more than vampire. That's one of my greatest obsessions. I love True Blood. I already talked about this in one of my other videos, my October favorites. True Blood is a 2008 HBO TV show about vampires. But what specifically, you may ask? Well, in True Blood's world, vampires are out of the shadow. Everyone knows they exist, and they even have synthetic blood to drink called True Blood. The story is set in a small town in Louisiana called Bon Temps, and the protagonist is Sookie. She's a telepath. Her parents died when she was little, and she's alone with her brother and a nanny. So I read the book because the cover was really intriguing. It's this one. The book is by Charlaine Harris, and the first one, it's a series of 13 books, and the first one is called Dead Until Dark. Now, I gotta say, the first 150 pages were exactly the same as in the TV show. I mean, the TV show represented exactly the same that was written in the first 150 pages, but the show did a great job I've never seen this happen in any other representation from books. They added more details, making the story more compelling. They added way more characters than there were in the book. They added so many more storylines, character analysis, character deepness. They just expanded the world that was written in the books. That's amazing. I truly admire that. I love that. I love what they did there. Now, the characters they created, for example, Sookie's best friend, Tara, it's annoying from the beginning. Really, I never clicked with her, but this is not the point, right? She is one of the greatest additions to the show. They not only created a whole ass character with Tara, making her grumpy, bitchy, badass in a way, but they also created her mom's storyline, going deeper to that and making them both a main character in the show. That's admiring considering that she doesn't exist in the books. Another addiction related to Tara is the relation she has with Lafayette, the cook at Merlot's, so the place where Sookie works as a waitress. Tara and Lafayette are cousins in a TV show, whilst of course not in the books because Lafayette is the only one existing. Everyone else is present. They didn't change a single thing about them. They have the same name, sister name, everything is the same. So the book, in a way, was boring, but having watched the show before reading the book, it was actually interesting to see what was like and what was different. Now, big changes happened when an important character died. I'm not gonna tell you why because this is a spoiler-free review. So it might look like Twilight just because we have a telepath and a person not telepathic that cannot read each other's mind, that fall in love and whatever. But let me tell you this, it's not like that whatsoever, and everything is gonna change. Is way more than that. And yeah, maybe in the future it's going to be a triangle. Maybe it might look like the Vampire Diaries for the many weird creatures that are gonna appear in the show. But trust me, it's a whole different thing. It's way more sexual than the things that I've just mentioned, but it's good. The main difference between Twilight and the Vampire Diaries with True Blood is that the characters are adults. Sookie is like Suki is about 22, 23, or 25, whilst Twilight and The Vampire Diaries are about teenagers. So this is a grown-up show. You cannot show this to kids because of all the sexual content that is available, and also talk about killing. There are some sensible topics, but that's what made me like it. It's finally something about supernatural, and it's not about kids. Now, the vampires. The vampires are different from any representation of vampires I've ever seen. First of all, they cannot walk into the sun. They burn, as the original vampires did. Not as in The Vampire Diaries or Twilight. So these ones, they go to the sun, they die. Another thing is, if they don't sleep, they start dying slowly. They get weak. And another important thing is that they cry blood. They don't cry tears, they cry blood. And when they don't sleep, blood comes out of their eyes, their ears, their mouth. They really get nasty. But also when they cry a lot. I don't know if this is represented in the book or not, because no vampire cried in the first book, so I don't know that, but in the TV show they cry. Another thing is that when vampires die, they explode and flesh and blood goes everywhere. It's like an explosion of organs and intestine, and it's not very nice to watch if you're not into splatter movies or splatter things. You're not a fan of blood. You see them explode. And another different thing from any other representation is that you can actually hurt them and make them weak with silver. You can literally burn them with silver. You can just put a chain on them, not even tie them up with silver, just lay it on it and they cannot move. They get hurt, there's blood everywhere. So that's an interesting thing, I feel like, right? Some vampires can also fly. And they definitely can do that in the books. Some, I think, can turn into a bat, but some just can fluctuate from the ground. They can compel people, as in The Vampire Diaries, but it's less powerful, but it works in the same way, so they can compel people. Now let's talk about the blood drinking. When vampires drink a human blood, they create a deep connection between the two, and they can feel their emotions. So the vampire can feel when the human is scared, is in love. They can feel pretty much everything when they're sad. This connection will be very important between the protagonist and Bill, the vampire. She will fall in love. This is not a spoiler, this is what the story is based on. So every time Suki will be in danger, Bill will arrive, unless it's daylight and he cannot go to her because she will burn. But the interesting thing happens when a human drinks a vampire's blood. In fact, vampire's blood is a drug. It's called V, and there are addicts that use it on daily. So when a human drinks a vampire's blood, it creates in them a sexual desire against them. So they usually have erotic dreams about the vampire, and they will not stop thinking about them. And it can also create a feeling of love that is not true to what they feel. And you cannot distinguish whether you're feeling that because of V or whether you're feeling that because you're really in love with the vampire. The first season of True Blood has a thriller twist, because there is a killer who's killing women that had contacts with vampires. Now, the killer is the same of the books, basic, but the only difference that the ending that the killer gets at the end, because of course they caught him. But in a TV show it ends in a way, and in the book it ends in a different way. Now I cannot tell you anything because that would be spoiler, but the ending is different, and probably it will have consequences in the future books that I still have to read, but I will get to them in a few months. So that's me. Then there is Eric. Eric is the most gorgeous, compelling vampire of all. He is the sheriff of the 5th era of Louisiana. And he doesn't appear much in the books, only I think twice. But he already has a tool on Sookie. In the TV show it will become more and more important. But the whole idea is the same. They are the same. Probably many things will change in the books once they go on. And it will shift from the TV show. But for now, in the first book, Dead Until Dark, we have a pretty similar representation, but with things added to the TV show that for once are amazing. They're really well represented, really well shown, and I'm so happy with it. I really love this TV show. The last thing that I want to say is that the intro of the show is one of the best one I watched. It definitely has an American Horror Story thrill to it, but with a sense of interesting, fun. The song is really catchy. It really captures the vibe of the show, I think, and also as well the images shown. And you should watch it, so I'll leave a link down below. And without further ado, let me know what do you think. If I said everything, of course not, but I'm willing to make another video more in depth, and once I read the second book, I will talk more about it. But for now, I think that's it. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe, click the notification bell to be updated whenever I post another video, and leave a like, and see you next time. Bye!